Picture this. It's 1888, the heart of the Victorian era. Gas lamps flicker on the streets of Middlesex, horse-drawn carriages clatter by, and a new, slightly wobbly invention is causing quite a stir: the bicycle. But with this new freedom on two wheels came a new set of problems. And that's where our story begins, with a piece of legislation that seems almost comical today: the Middlesex County Council Act of 1888. So, what was this law all about? Well, imagine you're a cyclist back then. You've just mastered the art of not falling off your penny farthing or your newfangled safety bicycle. You're enjoying the wind in your hair, feeling quite modern. But hold on, according to the new law, you, the cyclist, were legally required to verbally announce your presence. Yes, you read that right. As you approached a pedestrian or a horse-drawn carriage, you had to shout something along the lines of, "Make way," or "Bicycle approaching." It sounds absurd, doesn't it? But there was a logic to it, at least in the minds of the lawmakers. The primary concern was safety. Horses, the main mode of transport, were notoriously skittish. A silent bicycle sneaking up behind them could easily spook them, causing them to bolt and potentially lead to a serious accident. Pedestrians, too, were not yet accustomed to sharing the road with these fast-moving, silent machines. There were no bike lanes, no traffic lights as we know them. The roads were a chaotic mix of carts, carriages, people, and now bicycles. So, the council decided that a human voice was the best warning system. It was a simple, low-tech solution to a new high-tech problem. The law wasn't just about shouting, though. It also stipulated that cyclists must carry a lamp after dark. This is something we still do today, so that part of the law has certainly stood the test of time. But the shouting part, that's what makes this story so unique. Think about the social dynamics at play. Cyclists were often seen as a nuisance, a disruptive force. They were young, often from the burgeoning middle class, and they represented a new kind of freedom and mobility that challenged the established order. This law can be seen as an attempt to control this new phenomenon, to rein in the cyclists and keep them in their place, both literally and figuratively. It was a clash of old and new, tradition and progress, played out on the cobbled streets of Middlesex. The law also highlights just how rapidly technology was changing society. The bicycle was one of the first forms of personal mechanical transportation available to the masses. It was a revolution on two wheels. It gave people, especially women, an unprecedented level of independence. They could travel further and faster than ever before. But with every technological leap, society has to adapt. Rules have to be written, and sometimes those first attempts can seem a little clumsy in retrospect. Of course, the shouting law didn't last forever. As bicycle bells became more common and effective, the need to yell at everyone you passed began to fade. The bell was a much more elegant and less startling solution. It was a standardized signal that everyone could understand. The evolution from shouting to a bell is a perfect little metaphor for how societies learn to integrate new technologies. We start with messy, improvised solutions and gradually refine them into something more efficient and standardized. This forgotten piece of legislation is more than just a funny historical anecdote. It's a window into a world grappling with change. It shows us that the debates we have today about new technologies, whether it's electric scooters on our sidewalks or drones in our skies, are not new. Every generation has its bicycle moment, a time when a new invention forces us to rethink our rules, our etiquette, and our shared public spaces. The core questions are always the same. How do we ensure safety? How do we balance freedom with responsibility? And how do we adapt to a future that's arriving faster than ever? The 1888 Middlesex Cycle Law reminds us that progress is often a bumpy ride, full of strange detours and odd regulations. It's a testament to human ingenuity, our sometimes clumsy attempts to create order out of chaos, and the enduring quest for a better, safer way to move through the world. So next time you ring your bicycle bell, give a little thought to your Victorian counterparts who had to use their own voices to clear the path ahead. It makes you appreciate that little ding-ding a whole lot more. Thanks for joining me on this little trip back in time. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more historical deep dives, and maybe share this with a cycling friend. Ride safe, and see you in the next video.